Some people may remember the TV show Teletubbies. It was a rather weird show and generally disturbing. Speakers were everywhere, and there was a sun with a baby's face on it, plus a scary segment involving a lion and a bear, which was edited after complaints. Today I went to my local HMV, and the store clerk had recently gotten a pre-owned DVD. It said Teletubbies Lost Episode, The Playground. The clerk said to me that the customer who sold it was extremely upset. He said that he did not want to watch it anymore. I bought it anyway, despite the warnings about the upset customer. I slammed it into my DVD player and skipped the BBC logo and went straight into the intro. Everything was okay at first. The intro was normal until the speaker was supposed to say, "Where have the Teletubbies gone?" Instead of it saying, "Where have the Teletubbies gone?" It said something disturbing instead, like, "Life is not about anything. It is the consequence." I thought that was rather weird for a kid's TV show. It started with Tinky Winky sitting at a table. He was rather sad, depressed, and lonely, and he was bawling his eyes out. Not like cartoon bawling their eyes out, but an actual human crying. It skipped to another scene after the windmill roll call, which played out as normal and showed something on Tinky Winky's screen. It depicted a rather CGI-looking playground with a climbing frame that looked like the Teletubbies' house. Whoever made the CGI was rather crap at it. It was all wireframe, but then a sickening scene appeared. There were two children, but they were committing seppuku while looking at the creepy-looking slide. Blood was stained everywhere, along with hyper-realistic-looking intestines and organs scattered across the ground. I hurled in the bathroom from this dream, which I overheard the Teletubbies saying, "Again, again!" to which the video from earlier repeated itself. Then I came back out, and the final phrase from the Tubby Bye-Bye speaker was spoken. Life is meaningless. The truth is that you are all going to die from a horrifying death, and nobody understands it. A nuclear bomb then hit Teletubby land. The baby was crying rather than its normal happy face. Its face was soaked in blood. After that, a picture of the playground appeared with the Teletubbies hanging on gallows. Blood was seeping from their necks as they died. Behind them was the Teletubbies' house on flames, and the baby son from before, but it was shot to the ground and it was bleeding, of course. Of course, I vomited again, this time onto my duvet, onto my bed covers. After that, the scene cut to the ending credits, but at the end, instead of the ragdoll logo, there was a message that I couldn't understand, but what looked like Russian or Ukrainian. I turned it off and rang up Ragdoll about the episode. They said that they had 237 complaints and that it was worse than the Lion and Bear episode. They also said that there was a man who worked on it called Christian Johnson. He had a friend who went to a playground, but apparently he was on drugs and was depressed to the point of committing suicide. He was a CGI artist, but he never got to complete the episode because the progress was halted when Ragdoll found out what it was. It was, by mistake, sent to the BBC. They aired it without realizing the content. After just 5 minutes of the episode, complaints started ringing in. Parents said it was disturbing for their children, and the BBC took it off the air immediately. Christian killed himself after the BBC aired it, fearing that life was not about anything, and that it was the consequences. After hearing this, I ripped up the disc and smashed it into pieces. I couldn't sleep for the whole night. I have nightmares about it for weeks. The next morning, the doorbell rang. A man dressed up as a bloodstained Teletubby appeared and said his name was Ted Goldman. The same person who worked on Pingu's Punishment.